I hope today's video will rejuvenate you guys as a XRP investor. Now, with the advancement in the technology side, how is the financial world changing? It is interesting to hear from Christine Lagarde, previous IMF chief, about the fintech revolution and the evolution of money.
Has the world's financial system changed due to technology? And is there any impact to you and to IMF?
Well, I'll give you a very basic example. At the International Monetary Fund, 7 years ago when I started as managing director, the word fintech was not in current use in the institution. Now we have a lot of economists and financial experts actually working on fintech and trying.
So that is quite a change in last 5 to 7 years, right? Now, after that video, this came a couple of months later, and she gave a talk on the Singapore fintech event. Now, that is quite a difference, right? In 2 months before, she actually talked about the revolution of fintech and the change which fintech brought in. And after that, she is speaking in a Singapore fintech event. Listen to what she actually highlighted during that event. If you are receiving value out of the content, do hit the like button, subscribe button and the bell notification icon to get updated about the future videos.
Change is the only constant. Singapore knows this. You know this. It is the true spirit of the FinTech Festival, opening doors to the new digital future, hoisting sails to the winds of change. And yet, change often appears daunting, unsettling, destabilizing, disrupting.
Currently, she is heading the ECB, European Central Bank, and this is her viewpoints about fintech and disruption in the financial industries. So cool, let's continue.
To fintech, Singapore has shown exceptional vision. Think of the regulatory sandbox where new ideas can be tested. Think of the Fintech Innovation Lab and its collaboration with major central banks on cross-border payments.
Fintech and major central banks for cross-border payments. As investors, these are some data being presented to us. Now it's up to us how we interpret it and how we alter our investment policies. As the talk of CBDC and gold standard is actually re-emerging on a strong research base, set your eye for what is coming ahead, because the data is actually showing towards a world gold coin. Now it has its own reason and justification for that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. This journal article is from London School of Economics and Political Science. It discusses about the monetary standards, digital currencies, SDRs, gold standard and cryptocurrencies. So that's actually interesting when you actually go through the entire article, but that's a long article. Anyway, I've actually took out some great points from this. Along with all these points in the literature, it also talks about a world gold coin and the gold standard along with digital currencies, and see why the standard was used previously. Now when we actually go through that, it's really interesting. Say here in the world gold coin standard, it was actually used. The aim to use a common standard to facilitate international trade had been contemplated with the universal adoption of the gold standard during the 19th century. So understand, it was actually used to facilitate international trade. So international trade doesn't mean you're using gold coin to send your material in a ship, right? You're actually doing that to settle a payment. So international payments were the main reason for the world gold coin. Now, keeping this in mind, remember what Christine Lagarde stated. I'll play that 10 seconds again.
Think of the Fintech Innovation Lab and its collaboration with major central banks on cross-border payments.
So fintech, which is working with central banks, is actually for cross-border payments. Now we know who actually does that, and there is a software from their side and a bridge currency. Okay, cool. Along with this, I would also like to highlight the changes coming in the money itself.
I want to frame the issue in terms of the changing nature of money and the fintech revolution. Second, I would like to evaluate the role of central banks in this new financial landscape, especially in relation to providing digital currency. And third,
so Lagarde is clearly talking about changing nature of money and the role of fintech and central banks in the new financial landscape. And it's about providing a digital currency. So what will it be? Basically, there will be a digital currency. They're considering a gold standard, and fintech revolution is happening, and she is highlighting that. Now, I would ask you guys, how do you actually interpret this? Now pause the video and leave a comment behind and let me know what you guys actually think is coming up, how they will actually tie the gold standard, digital currency and XRP. Now, me personally, after going through my research, I believe it will all coexist, meaning central banks will issue digital currencies and they will actually base it on the gold standard, so they will actually be able to control the inflation. It will take time. I agree, it will take time, but it will happen. Now, for the international payments, they will run on one ledger, making it easy for them to actually do that. Now, in the new landscape of commerce, say for example, it is easy for the commerce to happen in that way. So the conversions from one fiat to another will happen through XRP as a bridge asset or a conversion asset. That's what fintech revolution looks like in my eyes based on these data. But it is also true that for domestic payments, the micro payments, central bank digital currencies will not be directly used by retailers, and a third party will be used there to facilitate that. Again, a fintech will facilitate that. We actually came through this based on the European Central Bank reports, how they were actually eyeing their central bank digital currencies, and also the fintech revolution is being mentioned from 2 years, last 1 year, now, and it's happening. We will go through an evolutionary phase of the fintech revolution. And I completely agree with the Cryptopolis. Value may be delayed, but the reward cannot be delayed. So ultimately, if you are an investor with patience, investing and accumulating at lower prices, when the psychology is low and the prices are down, that should be when an investor should be aggressive. That's not my words, it's based on the book of Howard Marks. So I'm personally being rejuvenated as an investor every day with the continued research about my investment. How do you actually feel with your investment now? With all the information coming out, do let me know your responses in the comment section below. Before ending the video, I would actually like to go into a shorter time frame chart because we did a detailed technical analysis yesterday, so we are not going into that kind of depth. But looking at the shorter time frame charts, that's 2-hour chart of XRP, the MACD and the RSI, it looks like we are actually within this pattern. It's a support here turned into a resistance and it is still valid. So if we actually manage to break through here, get a bullish candle, a shaved bullish bar, then the target would be above 0.24. So keep your eye on the price as it moves, because if it is not being pumped from here, it can actually come back down, retest the 0.22 or wick a bit down and then move within the range. So until we break below this or above this, keep an eye, because if we are breaking to the upside, then the target is about 0.4. That is cool. If we are breaking below, then we will be coming back around 0.21 area. If you are receiving value out of the content, do hit the like button, subscribe button and the bell notification icon to get updated about the future videos.